Wow, I kind of got a loud thing. So there's like this idea of something called like the evil eye, I think, in some like Eastern countries, whatever. And the evil eye is something that gives you like really bad luck because people are jealous of you. And I told the story when I was in Turkey. My friends were like begging me to actually buy the evil eye because I have the worst luck of anyone that they've ever known. And they were keeping an evil eye with them just so my luck would not rub off on them. Anyway, it's something that ever since I started making Middle Eastern friends, I've always been told that I have the biggest evil eye on me, basically, that people have ever seen. So, with that, I'm waking up today to this message, and I'm just thinking about, can I please have one vacation where there is only fucking positive vibes, dude? So I'm just gonna talk about how crazy, insane my bad luck is every fucking time, just in life in general, I guess, right? I guess these videos are mostly for me, but you know, the evil eye, right? And talking about being a playboy, right? Oh my god. This trip has almost been like America. I've actually had girls come up to me, or not come up to me, but we're talking, and they've actually used the word chick magnet. Like, I was talking to this one girl, like, no joke. I could even show the messages if I could edit while I'm talking or something. And she's like, I know you are chick magnet. You are chick magnet. And she's like saying this in English while then speaking Japanese. I'm like, chick magnet, that's pretty good. And she's like, I don't believe you. You sleep every girl. Chick magnet. I no, I won't hang out with you. And I'm like, I was impressed with her Japanese or English, and I was also disappointed, right? So, what is my Japan? My Japan trip so far has been extremely anticlimactic. My Japan trip started off. I guess this is just kind of talking about how my Japan trip has gone so far, and of course, I'm very lucky that my friend is letting me stay with him for free. Um, my Japan trip. Some people ask, how do you travel? So I do the credit card thing to get cheaper flights and deals and points and everything like that to save on flights. I agree. That's something you should do because even I'm not very good at it and I use it a little bit. So definitely do that. And I just save all my money. You know what I mean? People have seen how I live, whether they want to believe it's true or not. I've been playing on duct tape controllers since I was a kid. You know, small fucking TVs, 10-inch TV, 12-inch TV, whatever that fucking was, you know what I mean? Again, I used to make those combo videos. I didn't even have the fucking system. I would have to borrow it from somebody. So, I'm saving my money. I'm living frugally. Even, if people have seen the stories in Japan, I'm living very simple. So it's actually called saving money. I mean, I don't know what to say. Anyway, the flight here didn't go quite as bad as the last time to Japan. If you recall, I got so sick that they were asking if I needed a wheelchair on the plane. You know what I mean? But this flight, it got delayed for like 4 hours because of engine trouble. It stopped, which was kind of weird because I've never had that. That's pretty weird. Um, anyway, I guess, what I will say about this trip, I was very disappointed so far that, and the trip's not over. I still got a while, but I was very disappointed that besides my regular haters just constantly, you get weird messages or you hear people saying weird things about you. I was disappointed I posted those videos that two people that, are more so just acquaintances really just wanted to ruin me being in Japan, I guess. By constantly messaging me over and over and in group chats. And I'm like, what is your problem, dude? They're now mad that I'm in Japan. And like I said, I guess they're mad. The one kid is retarded, so he wants to blame me. Blah 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 blah. Health wise, a big mistake I made this trip is I've said before I've never had any problems with like basically any food in Japan ever, and I've had C. diff before. You know what I mean? Which I've had permanent side effects from before. Have like fucked up my stomach, fucked up what I can eat. I've tested positive for Crohn's before. So I have like some stomach issues, but I've never had stomach issues in Japan. So I didn't really bring any medicine because it's just like an afterthought. It's like, I guess I probably don't need it. So I wasn't thinking. And this trip, I've had stomach problems. I can't fucking believe it. If you've seen my YouTube or the Instagram stories yesterday, I had to like search out a fucking bathroom to get sick in, dude. You know what I mean? And I found a bathroom inside like a fucking parking lot. And I'm like, this is crazy, dude. The entire trip I've been getting sick. I that's just my, people think, oh, you're too lucky to be traveling. It's like, dude, I've saved every money I have. I live so simply. I don't go out it's like, and then I cannot believe that this trip I've been sick on and off the entire time. I've just never had stomach problems in Japan, but I must have, that's my fucking luck, right? And then girl wise, oh my god, dude, I gotta say, dude, like I felt like it's like America. Like I've had a bunch of guys actually coming up to me this time. Like I'm known as like this Final Fantasy character. Like quite a few dudes are like, I don't know. I guess I've been around Shinjuku so often that they're just coming up to me and talking to me like, oh, the Final Fantasy character. One guy even called me the Street Fighter character, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, getting stopped as like the Final Fantasy American guy, I guess. So I've actually made some acquaintances because regulars walking around the streets at night, right? And other people. So we getting like, it's like, oh man, how many girls have you got? How many girls have you got? Blah blah blah. And the thing is, I've always said people don't get it, dude. I'm not a man whore, dude. I wish I had that sex drive or cared about just fucking every single girl, dude. But I don't, dude. I just want the fucking hot girls. I just want the girls that I like, dude. Like, I'm constantly getting messages like, oh, he must be a man whore, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so the point is, dude, I've actually got nothing this fucking trip. It's been fucking terrible. Every fucking single randomly girl that I would be like, okay, I would do something with them, and we start talking, and then, like, just like, say last night, oh man, this girl, she was like, yesterday I was at the bookstore. And I was leaving the bookstore and I saw this super like cute, like, I don't know, like model girl. And I guess she's not actually a model, but she's in cosmetology school. So, I'm very attractive. And she was with her friend that was we would probably say the friend that is like the not as hot friend, right? And I saw them look over me and they got real shy. I was like, oh, no, come over here. And I brought them and like they're like, oh my God, sugoi. And like the not as, hot friend was like tapping her. So, oh my God, sugoi, kiniku, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, honestly, dude, the pickup line that I'm just using in Japan is I'm just being straight up. I'm like, yo, nanpa shite mo ii desu ka? Nanpa shite mo ii? I'm like, oh, mochiron, yes, nanpa. And I'm like, okay, that's just the pickup line that works for me if I actually think the girl's good looking, dude. And so we're talking, and then we exchange everything. And even when I left, and like I could see the one girl, man, oh man, she was basically my wingman for that, because she was like, oh my God, look at that guy, like super giddy. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, she was a good wingman for me. I guess that friend. So anyway, she messages me at night. We're talking about meetings. She's talking about how cool I am, and she's never had a cool foreign guy ever actually talk to her, and she's so excited, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, well, are you actually single? She's like, yeah. And then I wake up today, and it's like something like, the same shit, like, oh no, my boyfriend actually saw the messages, kind of bullshit. I can't meet you, blah, blah, blah. Dude, every fucking time I have basically seen, and like, I'm fucking picky, dude. I don't want to fucking have sex with every girl. Like, some of these Japanese guys coming up to me, or, like I said, I've actually never had that in Japan. Like I said before, okay, I shouldn't say never. I've heard this story that sometimes people say that, it's hard to make friends in Japan, and that a lot of people only want to practice their English. And I can only say, man, boy, very, very rarely anytime in Japan have I ever had an experience where a guy comes up to me wanting to practice his Japanese or anything like that. But in this case, I've had a lot of Japanese guys come up to me this year, or this specific trip, wanting to talk to me, wanting to practice their English or whatever. And I was like, oh man, how many girls are you getting? You must have been so. And I'm like, nope. I'm like, what? Why not? And I'm like, and they're like, I'm like, I don't know what the word, I don't know if this is the correct word, but I'm just saying, erigonomi sugite. I think that's what I'm using for picky. So I'm not sure if that's the exact correct word, but that's what I'm saying. And they're like, oh, picky. So they're like, yeah. And like, oh, too picky. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why? And they're like, why? They're like, just do every. And it's funny, like, even the Japanese like, why picky? Why? And it's like, what? And they're like, why? And they're like talking to like, why would you be picky when so many girls like are like coming to you like this? But because I'm a fucking idiot, that's why. You know, it's always funny. Like I said, I'm just like people. I always say I would compare myself to. I'm basically like the dude equivalent of a girl, and what I mean by that is, yeah, you know, there's always gonna be always quotation marks a girl that probably wants to have sex or something, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to just have sex with every random girl, dude. I want to be with a girl that I like. You know what I mean? I can't. I don't want to be with just everybody. So anyway, the point is, the handful of actually fucking cute girls that I've seen this year that and talked to that have not been like, oh, you're a man whore, I don't want to talk to you. You know, something just randomly happens, and it's just like, it's just incredible bad luck. Can I actually just, at least it's not like last time where the girl and her fucking boogers falling on my face, which was, that one was my fault. I should not have asked that girl if she was okay. Boogers in my face. That was a bad move. That was a bad move to ask her that, but I can't, I just woke up today and I was like, oh my God. Like I'm like, it's like happening, like it's happened like too much. And I'm like running out of like motivation to even talk to people now. Like here's another weird example. I actually saw this like really hot Spanish girl, right? And little tiny fucking thing, right? Oh my God, incredible body. Face was all right, but incredible fucking body. Oh my God. And I went up to her and I'm like, are you alone? Like, are you just traveling by yourself? Like, what do you speak? Or do you speak Japanese? Blah, blah. So we started talking and, it wasn't even a 5-minute conversation, just like, maybe 2-3 minutes or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I'm alone right now. I'm just traveling alone. My name's blah, blah, blah. Her name was Vanessa, I guess. But we're never going to fucking see her again. Vanessa, goodbye, Vanessa, wherever you were. Maybe a 3-minute conversation. And, we were in Shinjuku, so there's a lot of catchers or something like that. And she's like, oh, it's my first time in Japan. And I'm like, oh, well, I've been here, quite a bit. Maybe I can show you around. And she's like, wait, show me around. No, no, no. And she fucking ran away. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Are you kidding me? We're talking, like I said, I probably didn't even get the 5 minutes, 3 minutes, She's like, oh, yeah, my name's Vanessa. And I'm like, oh, hey, I'm Clayton. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm just walking around loitering. It's my first time here. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, I've been in Japan many times, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. We're just saying a little time like that. I'm like, wow, well. And then I was like, you look great. She's like, oh, thank you. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, whatever. I don't, whatever she said. I'm like, and I'm just like thinking of something to do. Whatever she said, something to do. And I'm like, oh, well, if you're alone, maybe I can show you around. I think I said I can show you. She's like, oh, no, wait, show me around. Oh, no, no, no. And I'm like, what? Oh my God, dude. I'm telling you, I get extreme fucking reactions, dude. Oh my God. And like I said, it's like I'm basically a girl too. Like, of course, if I just wanted to be with fucking random people, it would be fine. Like, I should fucking, if this fucking Wi-Fi, like I said, thankfully I haven't had any weird experiences, like the fucking customs coming to take my medicine, having to pay fucking $361 for that bullshit to prove it's real. But that Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi has sucked. And the company is still not fucking messaged me to fix that. So I'm just assuming that I fucking paid for the most expensive Wi-Fi to get fucking butt fucked on that thing. That's the only that and so the only money things that I got screwed on this trip is that. And I went to there was a shop or something like that, or we were at the Cherry Blossom Festival. And we're handing people money, and it was like 500 yen, whatever. And I gave the girl 1,000 yen bill, and I'm like, it's 500. So I'm like looking at her, I'm like, the change? And she's like, what? And I'm like, real guy change. And she's like, what? And I just looked at her and I was like, it's only $5, but I was like, bro, it's not even like I've actually never been ripped off in Japan like that. So it was only $5 that actually fucking happened. I was like, I was like, I just gave you 1,000 bill. It's 500. Like, what are you talking about? That you don't owe me any change. And I just like looked at her for like 5 seconds, and I gave her like a stupid look, and I'm like, Majida, are you fucking? Are you serious? Home thing? I was like, and I just shook my head and I walked away, dude. I was like, I don't know. So at least this trip, I have not been super screwed over. Besides the fucking Wi-Fi and $5. And my friend was like, "Oh, don't worry, she's probably Chinese. No Japanese person would have done that to you." But I was just like, "Really, dude? Are you serious?" I don't know, man. I was kind of disappointed by that, but oh, I was saying before that, yeah, if I could have been recording, like, there's this like, they weren't good looking or something like that, but I was in Ikebukuro last night, and just an example, like three girls, I heard them talking behind, and sometimes, and I'm like, are you talking about me? And they're like, oh, and they're like looking at each other, say, I'm like, you my type, and I'm like, oh, thanks. And like then the other Japanese people looking around started like looking at me when I try to speak my broken Japanese. So it's like broken Japanese with broken whatever, dude. And then they're like me 3 years old or something like that. Me 3 years. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you my type. And I was just like, yeah, okay. I don't know, dude. Fucking, I'm cursed, dude. I just want a fucking cute girl, dude. I don't want to bang a bunch of random girls, dude. I'm not that kind of playboy. I'm sure it's awesome. Like, my friend Nick, he's here, dude, and Nick is Nick is a good-looking dude, right? Nick's a good-looking dude, but Nick's type of girl is, Nick likes the types of girls that are below him, right? And I've told him before. I don't think this is a secret. Me saying this on him. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I've told him before. Nick likes girls below him, so then they treat him like a god, right? And then, that's what he does. Nick likes girls that are much below him, and then he can just, he can basically, it's easier to, manipulate girls when they're much below you and do whatever. And, he likes busting on all these, for lack of a better word, very, kind of, ho-hum girls, I guess, you know what I mean? And even when me and him have been out, I feel like, man, I'm just wingmaning for you, dude. Come on, like, this is my vacation. Like, again, I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm the one always, that's the same thing as America too, dude. Whenever I've gone out with guys, I always feel like I'm the one that's picking up the girls. It's kind of like disappointing, right? I'm not saying that as like a knock on Nick, right? I mean, if anything, I'm jealous. I wish I had the sex drive that I just wanted to bang a bunch of, random girls, because especially girls that are much below me, because then like, oh, if they're much below me, then they feel like indebted to me that I would actually do them, right? I mean, some people have that perspective, I guess, like, and I mean, we've talked about it. He's like, even last night we were walking home, and he's like, would you ever have sex with any girl that I've had sex with? And I was like, no. I was like, no, dude. I was like, maybe one girl I might, you know what I mean? But dude, I'm like, dude, I'm like, dude, every time we're out, I feel like I'm just going to get the girls for you, bro. Because I know I'm not going to like them, and I can do this. So it's like, you do your thing, bro. I'll back you up. I don't know. So that's my kind of, I guess this trip has been like America in terms of girls and guys. Lots of guys talking about how cool I am, coming up to talk to me, thinking I bang every girl. And then the random girls that I actually do think are good looking, they tell me the same, like, oh no, you have sex with too many girls, or oh no, I just don't trust you, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my God, bro, come on. So fucking anticlimactic, dude. Anyway, that's my update for how this trip to Japan has been going. The end.